Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith. I got a pretty good life, and I gotta say, it's awesome being me. If you're you, it's pretty awesome being you. But for one day, I think it would have been pretty awesome to be Chris Hemsworth. You know Chris Hemsworth? He goes by his real name, Thor. Not when he was filming one of the Thor movies. Not when he was filming one of the Avenger movies. But there's another time where I think it would have been absolutely fantastic to be Chris Hemsworth. So awesome that it deserves 2 snaps and a spin. That's... Now that we got that out of the way, let me tell you about that day in question. It would have been the day that he came in to do a table read for Huntsman Winter's War. At that table, of course, would have been the director, would have been the producers, I'm sure, would have been the screenwriters, but also Jessica Chastain, who in my opinion has the best name in Hollywood, or one of anyways, Emily Blunt, and Charlize Theron. Like, this guy's agent is like hooking him up in ways we can't even believe, because how fortunate is he to work with 3 absolutely stunning and extremely talented actresses. Now, if you see the trailers for this movie or you hear anything about it, then you think to yourself, okay, Chris Hemsworth's going to be in it. I know a lot of my female friends are like, oh, Chris Hemsworth, let's go. Absolutely. Very, very handsome young man. I'll give you that. But this movie's really all about Jessica Chastain. And the reason that I say that is this movie reminded me so much of Mad Max. Not because it's an extremely overrated movie, but because it's a movie where you think the main character is the guy, but it's actually his partner in crime. And in this movie, it's Sara, played by Jessica Chastain. So let's back up a little bit. In this movie, we meet Chris Hemsworth's character, and Jessica Chastain's character's little kids. They get kidnapped and they're taken to work for the Queen. They're raised to become huntsmen, or I guess hunts people. Anyway, they're raised to fight, they're raised to protect, they're raised to be soldiers. But what they're not raised to do is fall in love. And that's what they end up doing. Now, the Ice Queen, played by Emily Blunt, has a situation happen to her, so she doesn't believe in love. She thinks it's terrible. So she ends up separating the 2 of them. They're separated from each other. So the next thing you know, they end up finding their way back to each other, and then they have to fight the Ice Queen, of course, Emily Blunt, and the Evil Queen, played by Charlize Theron. Interesting that Charlize Theron's in this movie because I did that whole Mad Max comparison. Did you pick that up when I was putting that down? Anyways, if you read some of the reviews of this movie, you'd think it's not a very good movie, but I say nay, nay. This movie's actually pretty entertaining and a lot better than I thought it was, because Jessica Chastain's character is completely undersold in any of the advertising we've seen for this. She is a complete badass. If you thought Chris Hemsworth's agent was pretty good for getting him into this project, let me say that her agent is equally good, if not better, because I've come to realize that Jessica Chastain is always playing the confident, strong, female role, and I love it. If you see her in Zero Dark 30, if you see her in a lot of the other movies that she's been in, she's never playing, you know, like this, oh my God, can you help me? I don't know where I'm going. No, she's playing the woman who's kicking ass, taking names, no matter what role she's in. I absolutely think she's fantastic, and she's got a great name, Jessica Chastain. Emily Blunt, I had a hard time with her role in this movie because she's so sweet and lovely. I mean, every movie role that we've seen her up until now, she's like the nicest person. So it was kind of hard seeing her as this evil person who's like hurting people. But I had to kind of let go of Emily Blunt from like salmon fishing in the Yemen and the Adjustment Bureau and just be like, no, okay, she's a badass. And Charlize Theron has been like good and bad, so she transforms into it so evenly. This movie is a lot better than people are making it out to be. I really enjoyed it. I'm giving this movie a B. This, to me, is the perfect date movie, because regardless of what you're into, you're going to see some good-looking people on this screen, and you're going to see a pretty good story. So it's not one of those situations where, you know, if you're a guy and your woman's like, oh, let's go and see Thor on the big screen, you're like, oh my God, this sucks, because you're going to get there, and, you know, she's only got Thor. You got like 3 women to choose from, so don't be selfish. Ladies and gentlemen, movie's a B. It's very enjoyable. Jessica Chastain's fantastic. Hemsworth's fantastic. So are Blunt and Theron, and a very wonderfully crafted movie. Definitely worth checking out. Again, I give this movie a B. If you have the chance to see it, or if there's any other movies you want me to review, let me know. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WhittyWhittier, and WhittyWhittier.com. I appreciate you taking the time to check this out. My name is Keith, and I'll see you at the movies.